Avatar, of course, made all these advancements in green screen technology by rendering the 3D aspect of the people who are just actors without any real special effects makeup on and everything. They just basically have the computer dots to render into the program so that they can create the special effect makeup effect. And here we have the avatar effect of riding around on a bird. You can see we got looks like rolled ferny pads on a pole, and then we got this blue wrapping, and then we got all the electronic devices that will read the computer imagery, and then we got of course the person on the bird. And the Matrix have started us all off. Of course, here we have Tommy Lee Jones and Keanu Reeves on a wire, and then we just superimpose the background, and we have them flying around subway stations, and Spider-Man, and all the spider um, epigones, all about wire. Here we got the wire. We can see holding the person up, and the guy wires, and then we just remove those wires in post, and we've got this magical floating effect. And Alice in Wonderland had all sorts of great effects. All these great animals and everything. We can then just have grips holding that kind of inflated prop where the actors can ride that, and then we can come up with the wonderful animals in Alice in Wonderland. We got Tweedledum and Tweedledee. We can see the green suits, the wonderful bulbous green suits, and then the horse there is just merely a couple of 2x4s and a wooden chest, and then when we put the visuals in on computer graphics, it looks so much more dramatic. It's wonderful, and then the actor, of course, doesn't get thrown off the horse. It's very easy to do. The Hobbit, almost all of the Lord of the Rings is just one great CGI. It's shot in New Zealand, and you can see New Zealand in the background, but then we mat in the CGI to create the Hobbit and all his friends. And here we have an example in the studio where we created this outdoor effect, and then we put the background New Zealand in there, and we dropped that in our CGI and our green screen. It looks like they're part of this magical kingdom. Iron Man 3, of course, would be a no-brainer for all this. All that heavy armor that Robert Downey Jr. wears, it's all green screened on him, as are the apes in Planet of the Apes. We've got the helmet that will read out the correct coordinates for the algebraic equation that's being put in the computer, and we then build on the ape and come up with those wonderful human ape-like creatures that we have in the movies. Here, with the Hulk, we start off with the green suit, and then we layer on some animation, and then together we get the Hulk. But the Avengers, I just want to bring us to the Avengers. It's what's interesting here is that this was shot in Albuquerque, and it caused this ruckus because it's supposed to take place in New York, and so. But if we go to the Q Studios here in Albuquerque, this is what it looked like. We rigged up this huge green screen and did our special effects at the bus, the little pyro and everything there, shot it with the camera, and then we bring our actors in, and they are all superimposed against the green screen, which in the background becomes, as you can see, New York. And here we are in New York, jumping on buses, but actually we're at Q Studios in Albuquerque doing this. We're flying off over the railing into a padding below, and with all the green screen that we set up in the Q Studios, we just drop in New York, and there we go. And we have Scarlett Johansson flying through the streets of New York, and if we look at what she's doing in the Q Studio, she's on a gentleman who is a stuntman who's already green screened out so that it looks like she's riding this wonderful contraption. Here, Thor, a like person, This person is not going to be seen because he's green, but he's going to be struggling with whatever they want to superimpose into whatever creature they want. And when you have these explosions that we see all the time, here with Scarlett Johansson against this big fire-like explosion, none of the actors are even close to getting hurt because they're against a green screen. Their hair is being blown by that special effects fan. It's all reaction and acting, and then we drop in the explosion that we've done somewhere else. And this is wonderful too. We don't have the racetrack or the actors. We don't want to take a whole day to get this whole crowd out for these actors to do their scene in. So what we do is we get the actors in the studio against the blue screen, shoot them, and then we drop in the racetrack later. And here in the Batman movie, The Night Also Rises, we have a scene with Pittsburgh Steelers are playing, and their special effects, they couldn't get all 100,000 people. So I think they got 1,100 people, and they got them all in front of a green screen, and then they put them in the background. And then we've got this wonderful field here where it's all special effected out so that it seems like things are going from bad to worse here. But what they've done is they've created this field where it's only half a field, and so the stunt people can fall off a couple feet onto the field below, and it creates this Batman effect as everybody runs away. And Captain America or any one of these special Marvel heroes, they wouldn't be able to do half of what they do if they weren't hanging from a C-stand inside a studio surrounded by green, so that we can just drop in the Alps in the background. Or I love this too. We always have these scenes where the people are climbing up vertiginous sheer cliffs, and when you look at it, all they are is crawling on fabric with a green screen juxtaposed in the background. And so when it's all put together, it looks like they're clinging to the side of a cliff. And even TV now, all these shows, if they find a place, rather than try to find the right location, they'll see this brick building, they'll say, oh, forget it. This is maybe Boardwalk Empire, I don't know. And they just CGI in the rest. So now suddenly it's not a brick place with kind of wild flowers. It's a very well-kempt, white, wrought iron fenced location. Makes it look a little bit higher class. All right, this is even better. Here we are in this kind of downtown street against some projects, some slummy-looking projects. We just drop the green screen in down there, and then when we shoot it later, we've got these people on a dock waiting for the boats to come in. And this, I think, it all comes to head with Hugo, where Scorsese, with his tribute to Georges Méliès, created this huge environment of animated green screen, CGI world that was Paris of the turn of the century that he creates. And here we have, in the studio, they built a platform for the train, and then he put all these lights and green screen together so that when the train finally comes in, it looks like the railway station at the turn of the century France, and that train's coming down the track, and that train is the CGI green screen future that almost all of us are going to be participating in if we make movies.